Hey everyone, and welcome back. This is Boss from Indigo again, and today we have another very short video for you about Rako. Today's video is going to be about dimming profile. And what do I mean by that? Let me tell you a story, because I love telling stories. When we first had Rako in our offices about 6-7 years ago, I set everything up, we installed everything, it was great. But I noticed something very interesting. We have about 9 channels, 9 circuits in our demo room, and whenever it went to around 17% for some channels and 20% in others, they started flickering, which of course you probably know what I'm talking about. And so this flickering can be very annoying. Of course, customers can be very unhappy about that. And the reason for that is electrical and complex and physical, and it requires knowledge in physics, which I don't have. But what I do know is how to fix that issue. So today we're going to talk about how to fix all this flickering when things go a bit wrong with the dimming. Now, how do we do that? Well, look at my screen right now. I have my RaySoft over here. This is a dummy virtual project. Doesn't even have any rooms and channels, but it doesn't matter because I have one device, the RMT500, which is of course my dimmer, my wireless dimmer. But this will be exactly the same with the WMT 400, which is the wired dimmer, and going to be for the rest of the dim rail stuff as well, because the software inside is exactly the same. The principle remains identical. So when I click on my RMT500, of course it's a virtual device. If it wasn't, I would have this as my main window. But regardless, we need to go to the tab called the Profile tab. This is where all the dimming profiles are. So basically, dimming profile is just what you see on the screen, okay? It tells us what kind of power comes in at what percentage of control. For example, at 100%, we get full power from the dimmer. At 0% we get 0 power, and you can see it's not a straight line. There's a curve going on over here, and the reason for that is, of course, again, electrical physics. We're not going to talk about that. However, when we do see the flickering, and when I saw the flickering 6-7 years ago, this is where I went. So you can see there are templates over here. Let's just get a fluorescent template. You can just load the template, and you can see the dimming is different now at 0%. I'm actually getting looks like almost 10% of the power. A double S, for example, looks a bit more like this. So these may look like small differences, but they are very important to dimmer. Now, in terms of troubleshooting, you see a flickering. What do we do? The first thing I would probably do is literally go one by one through the templates and see if there's anything that works for you. I found the double S and the S curve are really helpful for pretty much most of dimming issues we've seen. And once I do that, of course, I need to save and upload, and then just test. Oh, it works, great. If not, let's go for the next template. But what if we did all the templates and nothing actually worked? Now it's time to do something. Now we actually need to do stuff manually. So for example, let's say at around 17% or so it starts flickering. Maybe it's time to change stuff like this, for example, or like this, more power, less power. Really is up to you. And there's no 2 ways around it. You have to test everything and see what works, and do these little increments, and maybe over here to go like this, stuff like that. Again, completely up to you and how you build it. And once you do, you save. Once you're happy with everything, you either save, or actually you can create a new template if you like and save it. And maybe you have a top of light or lamp or bulb that you use constantly. Well, now you have a template for it that you know works 100%. Alright, that's pretty much it for our dimming profiles. Well, I hope this was informative and helpful, and I thank you for viewing. Goodbye.